Hey, what's up, guys? Xavier Caldo here again, back at you with a Week 3 review. And to be honest with you, do have a few surprises here that I was not ready for. First being this Dolphins Jaguars game that just happened Thursday. Um, Completely blew me away. I had the Jaguars winning. Jaguars have been playing consistent, had good offense up until this point, but their defense has played terrible. Played terrible against the Colts. Played terrible against the Titans, and now allowing 31 points to the Dolphins. Jaguars just do not look good on the defensive side of the ball. Um, I think it's more of a personnel thing than it is anything else. I'm going to be honest with you. They do not look good. And, their coaching isn't bad. They're not, like, poorly coached. It's just they do not look good personnel wise. So, this one, yeah, I was wrong. See what I had the Jaguars win. Yeah, I think I called the Jags by 6, though. So yeah, was a little bit off on that one. Minshew played decent. I think he had went 30 for 40, something like that, 275 yards. Just didn't throw a touchdown. Just felt like he couldn't get it done. Taking a lot of drives stalled out, but that'll happen in the NFL. This could be fluke. If they played again, Jaguars might win. Um, Jaguars offensive line is a lot better than the Dolphins defensive line. It's not always a great comparison for who will win, but I like Lindor. He's a pillar for that Jaguars line. They've really improved. They stayed together since last year, and you can tell their synergies there. They're blocking. They're moving the ball. James Robinson did not get as many carries as I expected. Like I said, they let Minshew pass 42 times. They shouldn't be doing that. That is not the key to their success. They should be running the ball, controlling the clock, controlling the game, really, because they don't want their defense on the field. As you can see, Dolphins scoring 31. Their defense isn't doing very well. Yeah, they should just take every effort possible just to ground and pound, milk the clock, keep the ball out of the other team's hands. Then hopefully come out, good scheming, get you a few stops. That's all you need. You'll win the game. Um, Another thing for the Dolphins, Fitzpatrick played well. He had like 170 yards, 160 yards, and two touchdowns, I believe. One to Gesicki, the tight end. I really like him. Like his play. He didn't do much this game, but he's a good blocker. He's a good all-around tight end. I like his gameplay. But yeah, this game totally blew me away. Was wrong. Was wrong about this one. Um, yeah, Bears Falcons. Yeah, this is probably the last time I bet on the Falcons. To be honest with you, I was wrong about this one. I was actually wrong about the first three. Um, but the Bears Falcons, man, my goodness. Falcons defense is just awful. Plain as day. That's really all I can say about it. They are just not good. Um, yeah, not much else I can say about it. You know, as bad as the Falcons defense is, um, Mitch. I don't think we're allowed to call him Mitchell unless he does good. Uh, yeah, he just played terrible. They put Nick Foles in. Nick Foles 3 touchdowns. Yeah, it comes back. Come back, kid. But the whole game was like just controlled by the Falcons. Falcons come out, big bomb deep, huge bomb to Calvin Ridley for 60 yards, and they hit Hurst in the end zone for 2 yard touchdown. Falcons came out perfect. They could not have had a better start to this game. And second half, Falcons really don't do much. Pressure's getting back there. Todd Gurley had a decent game. He really doesn't look as explosive as I'd like him to, but I can't knock his game because he did have a good game. Um, Another running back the Falcons have, Hill. I forgot his first name. He had a great game. He had like a 25-yard run that was really nice, especially against the Bears. If you're busting the Bears for a 25-yard run, You know who they got their front seven. Um, yeah, Bears secondary doesn't really look that good. And saying that, the Falcons secondary looks even worse. Mitch Trubisky should have had, um, countless other, catches, countless other yards. He should have capitalized on the Falcons multiple times, and he could not do it. Especially with the Falcons being down like 4 or 5 defensive starters. Falcons were out. They were sick. There was a few people with COVID, I think. Yeah, they just looked poor, man. I'll be honest with you, they just did not look good. Uh, but like I said, I was wrong about that one. My prediction was right until they bring in Nick Foles and Falcons choke away another 15-point lead in the second half. What are you gonna do? Yeah. what can you do? Yeah, this Bills Rams game. I bet on the Rams by this one, but by 3. And actually, I said it would be a lot lower of a scoring game, mostly because the Bills have elite defense. They had 2 Pro Bowler corners last year, I think. Tre'Davion White and someone else. One was All Pro actually. Then the Rams, of course, have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and I said that this is going to be a low-scoring game. Rams are going to win by 3, last-second field goal. Happened the opposite way. I don't think last-second field goal is what it was, but I think the Bills, or actually maybe it was. I didn't get to watch this game, but I called Van Jefferson having a good game. I think he did. I'm not really sure. Can't remember as of now. But Bills O line, they didn't really do much. Aaron Donald 2 sacks. They ran some play action and left him. Aaron Donald grabs a hit for that tackle, runs straight up, easy sack. They were not expecting that. Yeah, Aaron Donald had his way with that team. I just didn't see this going to be a 35-32 game, to be honest with you. I expected this to be a lot lower of a scoring, contest, but hey, 2020 NFL, you really never know nowadays. Um, yeah, I really thought the Rams was going to come out with this one. I thought in a low-scoring battle, I didn't think Josh Allen was going to be able to do much, but hey, Josh Allen is starting to look like the man. I'm going to be honest with you. Josh Allen, yeah, right there, 300 plus yards in 3 straight games. Josh Allen did it against a legit defense today. I mean, hey, that's starting to prove it to me just a little bit. I want to see him, do it for a couple more, but as of right now, Josh Allen is hot as a burner. Next one, football team versus Browns. One actually went exactly how I predicted. I think I said Browns 30, football team 20. See here. Yep. And I said Mayfield continued his success. See how well Mayfield played. Didn't really get to see much of this game. That's here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, Dwayne Haskins. I remember seeing this. That's alarming. Dwayne Haskins does not impress me in any way, but yeah, Mayfield came out, did his thing, line on his run game, let his run game flip his pass game, and he played well. I give it to him. Odell got targeted. Thank God. That's what they need to be doing. I think they saw after the last week that hey, if you bomb it to Odell a couple times, people start to pay attention, freeze up your underneath routes. And it did. Hit Hooper, hit Landry. 10, 12-yard gains. Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot. Kareem Hunt got him a touchdown. Nice. Yeah, I called this one pretty much spot on. I said that this is going to end up being, yeah, Mayfield is going to be successful against the poor Washington secondary. And all Washington really had is a D line. That's Matthew Ioannidis and Chase Young. Chase Young going out. I remember he got injured. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I like Antonio Gibson. I mentioned him last video. He's explosive. He's big. Good runner. I do like watching him. He's one of the reasons I will watch a Washington game or two, and the fact that they have um, where's he at? Huh? Is Ioannidis out? Really? Hmm. So they had no Chase Young, no Ioannidis. Yeah, no wonder they got killed. Yeah, but that one went just as how I predicted. Get back here. Get on the next game. Oh yeah, Titans Vikings. I did call the Titans by 7, I believe. Yeah, I think 7. Titans. I did not expect the Vikings to do this. Um, the Vikings aren't that good. I'll be honest with you. Be completely honest with you. I think I remember. I know Dalvin Cook had a crazy game, a crazy game. I think Derrick Henry had a pretty good game too, but we'll see right now. I know Tannehill had a decent game. Yeah, just had no touchdowns. Unfortunate, but that stat line's not terrible to me. That's him, at least getting. Yeah, Derrick Henry, feed the beast, get him his yards. Love to see that. I love Derrick Henry, man. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. Yeah, Dalvin Cook, huge game, massive game. He got shut down at the Colts, came out and played with a passion. Kirk Cousins still throwing picks. Did have 3 touchdowns, but um, yeah, he's turning the ball over a lot. Dalvin Cook coughed it up once too. I remember that. Harrison Smith still up there, still doing good. Yeah, I watched a little bit of this game, but I fully expected the Titans to win. Didn't think they would only win by 1 point, but I did expect them to win. Didn't expect them to give up almost 200 rushing yards. That's kind of a surprise since, Titans are supposed to have the best rushing defense in the AFC South, supposedly. They added Clowney. They have the defensive coordinator who came from the Texans. Clowney went there, I think, because of him. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm guessing. Clowney had a few teams he could have signed with, but he decided to sign with the guy that was going to run that 3-4. He's been in that system before. He thrived in that system, so he went down there to play, and they gave up 200 to Dalvin Cook, who got held to 60 um, on 8 less carries last game. And he honestly, the last drive, he scored and he got probably 30 yards because he was playing against the Colts backups. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but still, yet good game from Cook. I don't know if Vikings necessarily deserve that 0-3 start, but their defense, their defensive line, and couple spots on their defense is just really weak. Like I said, I expect the Titans win. Derrick Henry had a big involvement in this game. He loves that left side of that offensive line for the Titans. Taylor Lewan, and I forget their left guard's name, but he's talented too. I might do a film review of him. But yeah, got that one right. On to the Raiders Patriots. Called this one too. I didn't call it by 16, but I did call this one. Yeah, I said Patriots Raiders. I said Patriots 28, Raiders 20. Raiders had 20, but Patriots had another score. I think Cam didn't really do that much, did he? If I would remember correctly. Um, yeah, let's see how Carr did. I said he wouldn't be able to pass against the secondary of the Patriots, and I really don't think he did. He might have, but I don't think he would have been able to. Oh, I did. Eat my words again, huh? Josh Jacobs, yeah. I said that he wouldn't really be able to pass efficiently against um, the Patriots secondary only because Josh Jacobs would be limited in the run game because of a Belichick coach defense. Josh Jacobs was limited today, no touchdowns, 4.4 average, which isn't terrible, but still. It looks like the Raiders moved the ball. They just wonder what happened. Maybe some fumbles, something. Oh yeah, two fumbles, fumble there. Yeah, something had to have happened because it looked like they were moving the ball there. The other Patriots played Cam Newton. Yeah, I know Cam Newton didn't do very well. Man, I've heard a lot of Sony Michelle hate over the past couple seasons. Rex Burkhead, 2 touchdowns. Nice. Nice. And a receiving touchdown. Man, what a game from Burkhead, huh? But yeah, this one didn't go how I thought. I thought the Patriots defense would be a bigger factor. I guess three forced fumbles is a pretty big factor. That's just them making big plays. But I'm starting to think the Raiders' offense is legit. You take away them three fumbles, that might be a different game. To be honest with you, this could be a lot different of a game without them three fumbles. But still, yet 20-36, called that one. I do like the Raiders this year. I think Derek Carr is playing really well with that offensive line and that run game from Josh Jacobs to bolster him. I just didn't like them over the Patriots, but after seeing that, if that happens again, I might bet the Raiders. Yeah, I called this one. Uh, McKinnon says 1+ scrimmage touchdown 3 straight games. I don't think McKinnon even did anything. Um, 49ers backup came in, played really well. Uh, yeah, Nick Mullins is a beast. Or he's probably the best backup in the league easily. And to be fair, it is the Giants, but he's still a backup, and he came in and I think he played pretty well. I don't know if he passed for a touchdown or not, but yeah, he did. 343, 1 touchdown. Garoppolo might be losing this job. I'm going to be honest with you because I like Nick Mullins, and I think Garoppolo is very overrated. I wouldn't say very overrated, but I think that he could have just done so much more last year. He could have just done so much more, and the 49ers would have a Super Bowl. But McKinnon did not look like his old self, especially against the Giants defense. Man, they just don't. I don't know. I don't know. That injury seemed to hurt him, but we'll see. Time will tell. Daniel Jones played pretty abysmal. They have no rushing game. Daniel Jones is leading their rushing game. Uh, yeah, that's alarming. To say the least, that's not good. But yeah, this game is a blowout. I called this one. Go back, see the next game. Giants, Bengals, Eagles. What did I call? I think I called Eagles winning this one. This game was an absolute mess, if I remember correctly. I think I saw bits and pieces, a little bit of highlights of it. Where's the game at? Oh, there it is. What did I say? Yeah, I said Eagles 27, Bengals 20. End up splitting 23-23. I said Wentz would have a good day, but I think I remember seeing some interceptions. And I think people are mad. I also said Joe Burrow get hit a lot, and I was. I don't know if anyone saw that highlight, but Joe Burrow got plastered one play, man. That was rough. That was rough for me to watch. I want to see how Joe Burrow did. Yeah, Joe Burrow killed it, man. Joe Burrow killed it. I love Joe Burrow. He is one of my favorite young quarterbacks right now. Wish he played for the Colts, but you know, is what it is. Carl Lawson had 2 sacks, which is really surprising. I did not expect him to get any pressure on him back there, especially, Eagles offensive line, supposedly renowned. I mean, I guess they are getting older now. Carson Wentz, yeah, man, it might be time. Time to put that man in right there. See if Jalen Hurts can do it. Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz both had a fumble. Yeah, there's a lot of turnovers today. A lot of turnovers today for the Eagles. Let's see how Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham did. Fletcher Cox, 1 sack. Nice. Jalen Mills, a sack and a half. 2 sacks. Jesus, man. Sack for Sweat, half a sack for Malik Jackson. Yeah, I said Joe Burrow would get hit a lot today, but I did not expect that. My lord. How many sacks was that, man? I have a statistic here? Yeah. Maybe if I click team. Sacks allowed. Yeah, 8 sacks allowed. Man. Yeah, I said Burrow would get hit a lot, but I didn't expect that. They still tied 23-20. It had to have been, yeah, 2 interceptions. No fumbles lost. Okay. Still 2 turnovers is never good. Had more time of possession, better third down efficiency. How did Cincinnati even tie this game, man? I guess them 2 turnovers. Joe Burrow was playing great. I'd love to see that, man. Wentz might be done. Calling it out, he might be done. It might be time to bring in Jalen Hurts to let him go to work. Against the Bengals secondary, I'm gonna be honest. You should not be playing like that. You should not 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions against the Bengals. That should never happen. Ever. But we'll go on to the Texans Steelers. Called this one, actually almost called this one directly on. I think I'm off by 1 point. Where is this game? Oh. No, okay. I called it 24-17. So I called the differential pretty well. But yeah. I said Pittsburgh's D line's gonna feast. On the bottom 10 offensive line of the Texans, which they're not bottom 10. I think they're bottom 15, but they're not elite. They're not good. They're just average. I said Watson's going to struggle from the pressure. Yeah, Texans D line is just poor, man. They just don't look good other than J.J. Watt. Let's see if they got any pressure this game. I think I remember Big Ben maybe getting sacked once. I did see that T.J. Watt made a few big plays, a couple big plays in the backfield. It's T.J. Watt things. That's what he does. Here, Deshaun Watson, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Okay, Ben Roethlisberger, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. James Conner had a big day. I do remember seeing that. I did watch a little bit of this game, just a little bit though. I didn't. I had a lot of other things I was doing, but here, T.J. Watt a sack, Vince, Stephon Tuitt, Devin Bush, Bud Dupree a sack and a half. Love to see that Kentucky alumni. Yeah, a lot of pressure back there. I figured that would be the case. See if the Texans had any pressure. 1 sack, 2 sacks. Yeah, decent. J.J. Watt really not doing anything. Don't know if he's done much the whole season so far, honestly. Texans are 0-3 though. They need overhaul on their defense. Their defense looks terrible. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger returning to his ways, man. He's looking nice. Eric Ebron came from the Colts. 1 touchdown, 5 receptions. Yep. Juju Smith. Yeah. Steelers offense looks nice. To be honest with you, their offense looks efficient. Defense looks spectacular. Cam Hayward, Bud Dupree, and T.J. Watt. I cannot preach this enough. That is one of the best, if not the best, D lines in the league. People can argue the Bears. Yeah, but I don't think they do what the Steelers do, to be honest. But Jets Colts called this one. Yeah, Philip Rivers 400th touchdown pass. Love to see it, man. Glad he gets to do that at the Colts. Just another legendary quarterback to play for the Colts, following in the footsteps of Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning. Philip Rivers is here doing his thing. Me stats. Oh yeah, Sam Darnold. Xavier Rhodes had a day. First passing play. First time Sam Darnold throws a pass this game, pick six. He also, again, now this is kind of funny. They were running a zone in on a drive, second drive the Jets had, or third drive. They drove down the field. We're running a zone. Xavier Rhodes thinks it's man coverage. He stays his man. The guy that was on the slot receiver comes down because he has the cover three, I believe, and they're dropping Xavier Rhodes back. Xavier Rhodes notices last second, makes the adjustment, and pretty much baited Sam Darnold so perfectly because he messed up initially. He gets back, gets the interception. Uh, it was, at the time it was kind of funny just because of, it was supposedly, it looked like a blown coverage that to Sam Darnold it looked like a blown coverage. And then out of the blue comes Xavier Rhodes for his second interception. T.J. Carey got an pick six that game. Colts defense looks spectacular. I'm loving it, man. Jonathan Taylor did his thing. Philip Rivers doing his thing. We even threw Jacoby Brissett in at the end of the game just for shits and giggles, I guess. Um, Mo Alley Cox, great game. Yeah, I'm looking to say Darius Leonard's playing great again. Looking to be another Pro Bowl season for him. Three of the Colts offensive linemen might be making, actually four. Honestly, all five of them could go. Costanzo's still playing good. I don't think Costanzo has it anymore to go to the Pro Bowl, but definitely Kelly, Braden Smith, and Quentin Nelson, of course. Now, Glowinski was one of the highest graded guards in the league week 2. Week 3, he still looked good. I really want to see the coach's film come out so I can see Quentin Williams, see how he played against the Colts. Because honestly, whenever you watch it in broadcast, you're really not paying attention to the matchups that much. I'm not, at least. I wait until the film comes out. But yeah, that'll be a good matchup. I want to see a little bit of that. I'll probably do a Quentin Nelson film review. A few others too. I'll do Quentin Nelson, Lane Johnson, Andrew Whitworth, and I'll do Mekhi Becton's 2 quarters. I'll probably do Lindor from the Jaguars just because he's having a great year and he's on the Jaguars. Didn't expect that. But yeah, then will probably be the 5 I do this week. Uh, yeah, Panthers Chargers. Didn't expect this. Thought the Chargers would win. The Panthers defense has been pretty underwhelming this year, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know on this one. I don't know how they held the Chargers to 16. Teddy V had a pretty good game, huh? Yeah, Justin Herbert. They're letting Justin Herbert lose 50 passes and he's going 331 touchdown, 1 pick, which isn't bad. I will have to watch the film on him. I might do an analysis of Justin Herbert, just to see what he's doing good, what he's doing bad. But yeah, I mean, hit Eckler 11 times. Hunter Henry. I feel like he deserves a few more targets, but he got 7. I don't think Austin Eckler should be getting 11. Keenan Allen getting 19. That's pretty ridiculous. That's pretty ridiculous. Mike Williams getting absolutely no love the whole game. Yeah, I mean he didn't play terrible. 330 yards. Just wonder maybe he's getting some pressure back there. Interception. Yeah. Ooh, pick 6 from Dante Jackson. Brian Burns had a sack. Marquise Hayes. Okay. Ooh, there we go, Derek Brown. That's what I like to see. Derek Brown had a abysmal week too. He's coming back 4-1, 3 tackles for losses. I love to see it. Derek Brown's probably one of my favorite D tackles to come out of college in a while. Alabama product. Yeah, I love his game, man, and I like seeing 3 tackles for loss at that D tackle position. He doesn't have much of a pass rush, and people are like, "Oh, it's pretty questionable what his pass rush ability to be." But I think Derek Brown, if he lost 15 pounds, works this offseason, gets some. He looks a little lethargic out there. He does look a little. I won't say lazy. He don't look lazy. He just looks slowish. He looks sluggish. Like he hasn't worked hard enough. But I think this offseason he'll get to it, and he will be looking like the prime time nose guard that he is. 3 tackles for losses, 4 tackles, 1 assist. Yeah, he's getting back there. He's making plays. I love to see that. Eating up double teams. Yeah, I like to see that. I might have been wrong about this, but I'm not particularly mad. I like seeing Derek Brown do good. Teddy Bridgewater, I like seeing him do good. I always thought he got a pretty bad rap. Deserved a little bit more credit than what he got, but hey, what can you do? Scroll on down here. Uh, yeah, this is another game, man. I called the Cardinals winning this one by. Actually, I probably called that by a touchdown. Why was I wrong? What was I wrong about? Oh, yeah, there it is. I said Cardinals 33, Lions 27, 26-23. Kind of surprising. See the stats here. AP, doing AP things. 3.4 average, don't really like that. Matt Stafford having a good game. Uh, is Swift already reception, 19 yards? Okay. So Matt Stafford had a pretty good day. Not great. 3 interceptions. What? Kyler Murray, 3 interceptions. Hold on. Against the Lions secondary? Okay, Jeff Okuda showed up. Like to see that. Jamie Collins. Nice. Leaving the Patriots, coming and showing up week 3 for the Lions. Yeah. Jeff Okuda, 6 tackles. He makes tackles on the edge. Something I do like about him. 2 for loss. Blowing up screens, it sounds like. Man, 3 interceptions. Kyler Murray is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I hate to see that, but DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins might be the reception and the reception yard leader this year. The way he's playing. Andy Isabella 2 touchdowns. I like Andy Isabella mostly because he super speed, supersonic speed, but still yet, I think he tries real hard, and I think he's a good route runner. And he's reliable at catching footballs. That's the biggest part. But yeah, um, I called this game a little bit differently. If Kyler Murray doesn't throw 3 interceptions, it probably ends up being exactly how I said. But still, yet throws 3. Uh, don't really know how he did that. I might watch that game just to see what went wrong for him. But on to the next. Buccaneers, Broncos. Bucks winning 28-10. Called this one. Um, actually called it 30-20. Yeah, the Broncos are struggling. No Drew Lock is just that's a bad combination for them, man. That is just not good. Unfortunate. See what happened here. Stats. Tom Brady, have yourself a day. Leonard Fournette not doing anything. Ronald Jones getting the bulk of the carries there. Scott Miller. I like Scott Miller too. Chris Godwin. Huh. Mike Evans, 2 receptions, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. They said, Mike Evans, we're on the 1 yard line, we're throwing it up to you, and he went and got him. Yeah, Jeff Driscoll, he don't have what it takes not to lead this team at least. Okay, Jared Jeudy, 5 receptions, 55 yards, and Noah Fant. These two who I think the future of this Broncos offense are. Noah Fant, super athletic, prototype tight end. Jerry Jeudy, you know what he does. Uh, Great route runner. Probably one of the best route runners I've seen come out of college in a long time. Yeah, not really much to write home for the Broncos here. All Bucks. See what they did defensively. 2 picks, one by Mike Edwards and one by Levante David. 2 sacks for Shaq Barrett, one sack for Jordan Whitehead, 1 sack for Antonio Winfield, sack for JPP, Vita Vey with a sack. Man, all kinds of pressure. Yeah, Broncos offensive line's not looking too good. That might be what they focus on in this draft. Honestly, I think Drew Lock deserves another chance, and they should kind of keep working on that offensive line because they'll have Von Miller another year. And defensively, honestly, they're not that bad. They have Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, Bradley Chubb with Von Miller. If Bradley Chubb and Von Miller has a full season together, that defense will be nice. I don't know about elite, but it will be good. Borderline great. Yeah, we'll have to wait to see though. Too many injuries this year. Broncos just need to get better as a team. Fant, Jeudy just need to improve. Hopefully they do. Next one I almost called. Very close. I said Seahawks 35, Cowboys 27. Pretty close to getting that one, but I expected Seahawks to win this one. I said it'd be a shootout, and that you're having a shootout with Russell Wilson. I don't think anyone's beating Russell Wilson this year in a shootout except for maybe Aaron Rodgers. And the only reason I say that is because Green Bay's pass rush is a lot better than the Seahawks. But we'll see what happened here. Yeah, Russell Wilson's looking like the man to beat this year. Dak Prescott, 472 yards. Man, 3 touchdowns. 2 interceptions, though. Hate to see that. Zeke did absolutely nothing this game. Could have put me in there running back and probably did just as good. Alden Smith, 3 sacks, man. Antoine Woods with the sack. Yeah, Alden Smith had himself a day, it looks like. Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 5 touchdowns, 315 yards. Yeah. Chris Carson having a decent day. Tyler Lockett showing up, 3 touchdown catches. Man, what a stat line. 5 touchdowns, no picks, 315 yards. Yeah. Russell Wilson's looking like the man to beat this year. I called it. I mean, if you shoot out Dak Prescott versus Russell Wilson, yeah, I'm taking Russell Wilson. There's a few teams that have different secondaries. I might switch that up, but I don't think the Cowboys have the secondary to stop that. Uh, yeah, this game went about how I expected. Okay, on to the last one, and that is the Saints versus Packers. And I did guess this one correctly. Well, educated guess, I should say. Saints versus Packers. Yep, 37-30. I called 28-26, but, you know, still called the Packers winning. Aaron Rodgers is looking like the man this year, and Drew Brees has looked like he's regressed. To be fair, he has played the Packers. Both of his losses are to the Packers and the Raiders, who do look very good this year. So can't really hate on him, but Aaron Rodgers looks good this year. Yeah, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Aaron Rodgers playing great. Aaron Jones last week was a freak on wheels. This week he did okay, I guess, but nothing compared to what he did last week. Zadarius Smith, one forced fumble. I love Zadarius Smith. A very good pass rusher. Him and what is his name? I don't think their D tackle's playing right now. Could be injured. Jair Alexander's a great corner. Yeah. Amos is still there. Wow. I haven't heard his name in a while. I knew Darnell was there. Yeah, their defense, Green Bay's defense is pretty good. Very solidified. Let's see the Saints. Drew Brees played good though. I was just dogging him, huh? Played good against their secondary. Taysom Hill threw that game for them though. I cannot believe he fumbled that ball. Whew, that was terrible, man. What was that play call? Anyways, yeah, this game went how I expected. I figured Rodgers would pull this one out. Rodgers is looking kind of unbeatable this year. But great game from Drew Brees. I love to see that. He doesn't look like the same Drew Brees from the games I watched, but 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the Drew Brees I know. Alvin Kamara, great game, 2 touchdowns. I said this that I thought Drew Brees is going to struggle a little bit. Alvin Kamara was going to run the ball, with the Saints O line. Saints top 3 offensive lines of the league. They showed it. 13. Or no, that's receiving. Okay, my fault. Still yet. They still had 116 yards on the ground. That's pretty good. Kamara even better in the pass game. Yeah, what a game. What a game. I wish I would have watched that one. That was a fantastic game, it looks like. But yeah, that's going to cap it off. If you're still here, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, this is my week 3 review. I'll be putting out my picks every week, and I'll do the review just to see what I'm wrong about. What I was wrong about, if I was right about something. Just to keep up with the teams. Really just to check myself. I'm not going to sit here if I'm wrong about something to be like, oh, blah blah blah. I'm always going to admit if I'm wrong. I'm going to write my mistake, and I'm going to see. Just to keep a check on how the NFL is doing, or really just to keep a check on myself on my knowledge of the NFL. But yeah, like I said, if you're still here, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you like the content, drop a like, drop a subscribe. But until next time, I'm Xavier Cottle with High Octane Analysis, and I'm going to be signing off here.